Uh-oh, I feel like I'm in a movie. What the heck? You guys see that? There's hundreds of them. I went in to get the camera. They were all right over the building. As if they followed me to work. Uh-oh. Blackbirds. They're everywhere. This isn't a show about birds. This is a YouTube channel, Jimmy Making It Work. And birds are part of making it work, I guess. At least this morning. Mixing it up a little bit. Automotive related content, nature related content. We do it all. Not sure what's going on there, but it is what it is. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. 54, ooh, a male mosquito. Not anymore. Murder on this channel can happen. You got to be prepared. Just about anything's possible. Insect murders, freeing dinosaurs, and embracing the blackbird. That's what we do around here. We fix cars, we learn things, we have some fun, and there's some kind of disturbance in the force, I guess. Oh, there's hawks down there, 2 hawks. I don't know if you can see them, and then a bunch of blackbirds on the top wire. We'll put some clips in, so you'll have some idea what's going on other than a little silliness this morning. This morning we're gonna get this Jeep done, hopefully. Ford Escape. Been an odd couple of weeks. Let's go over and look at these gigantic hawks and see what they're up to. Not at all worried about me, huh? One's facing me and the other one's facing the road. How you doing, little fella? I'm just chilling and waiting for a blackbird to slip up. We got quite a few cars out here in the grass. That one was abandoned in the parking lot when we told them what it would cost just to look at it. We pushed it in from the parking lot about 3 months ago. It was sitting in the grass. Oldsmobile Alero. I think that one needed an engine or transmission or something. He abandoned it. Same thing with that one. This one we're trying to figure out now. They got Danny working on it. He was asking me some electrical questions, so it has something to do with the fuel system. This one I think needs an engine. This one was just towed in yesterday. This one I forget. It's been here a long time. This one we put a transmission in, and then we put another one in under warranty. They haven't picked it up yet. This Audi needs engine. Has a bad cam. It's not running the it rounded out the lobe on the high pressure pump cam lobe. This one had a tree fall on it. It's been sitting out here now about 2 years, I think. This one here, well, the green monster. It had bad gas in it for years. It sat. He wants to get it running. I think the problem was we told him what it could potentially cost, and so here it sits. No tag. I think this one's fixed. They haven't picked it up. This one's fixed. They haven't picked it up. This one's fixed. They haven't picked it up. This one has a rattling engine. Needs an engine. This one I fixed about a month ago. Haven't picked it up. This old Cadillac needs a wiring harness. The wiring's all crumbling and coming apart. Of course, the car's worth like 150 bucks based on weight. So, broken oil drain, still haven't replaced it. The oil drain broke like 3 months ago. We're using a little plastic bucket to do our oil changes. Trying to stay positive, do the best you can to make a living. You just do what you got to do. You row your boat. You try to get what you can out of each day, make the best of each day. I really enjoy personally, and I might edit a lot of this stuff out, I don't know. The main reason I come to work every day is to take care of my family. The second most important thing is to take care of people who have problems with their cars. Being a mechanic, something comes in not running or doing something it's supposed to do, I fix it. I see that thing working when I'm done. It's a great feeling of satisfaction. I accomplished something. So every day when cars come in not running, like especially if they're towed in and they drive away, that makes me happy. And I'm taking care of my family when I do it at the same time. That makes me productive. You know, helping my family, helping their family, everybody wins, right? That's what I like. You guys are always good at listening. Let me, this is some stuff. This is the welder from Vivor I did a video on. My body work cart for doing metal work and stuff, which I don't think I'm going to do any more of that here. I'm gonna start bringing some of that stuff home, getting some of my stuff out of here because a lot of my stuff's in the way. All that's left to do now is to get in there and get the shop open up and get started. Get that Jeep finished up. I don't know what kind of clips you saw earlier, but I'm anxious to find out what I showed you. Let's do it. Let's get in there, get started, see what we can get done today. Make it a good one. Stay tuned. All right, starting off this morning, we're gonna get this Jeep done, hopefully. There's we've got 2 cars out there. Not sure what they're here for. Appointments. We'll figure it out. But I gotta get this done and off my lift first. This thing, you gotta hook it on this cable and put it in between the shoes afterwards. I don't know if I can do something with that roll pin. I don't think so, because getting that pin and clip in afterwards won't be much easier. Let's see here. I'm gonna get another screwdriver. I can pry this up, stretch the spring on this side, and get this unhooked. Get more room, get the shoes out of the way. Let's see if that'll be enough room. It's almost like the emergency brake cable's out too far. 2.2 hours, I think this is. Let's get the stud out of the way. There it is. All because of that little wheel stud causing all that trouble. Now I should be able to put the springs back on. When you pull the emergency brake cable, it just leverages that apart. Da, 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 da. That's one. I might need to go back to the 2 screwdriver method for this one. Let's see here. There's not a lot of room for this. There you go. Not so bad. Starting off the day with an easy peasy. Now whoever did this last had this backing plate all tweaked. So I'm gonna put the rotor on, make sure it doesn't hit anywhere.
Jerry,
Yeah.
where do you keep your Honda crank bolt weird socket thing?
Oh, you mean big drawer in my bottom box? Top one. Should be in there somewhere. That's what he was doing, the Honda crank pulley bolt, my special Ingersoll Rand socket. Get him right off. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Piece of cake, baby.
I assume I can find something like this on your store?
Almost makes a $100 socket worthwhile. Yeah, I think I have it in my Amazon store. I gotta look. They're $100 on the tool truck and like 75 on Amazon or something. All right, caliper's ready to go. I'm doing the axle nut after. We'll be good. We'll do that later. Listen here, man. There is no business like show business. Oh, that's a different song. Yeah, there's no margin for error with the brake line in the way and everything, all these suspension parts. Can't tell if it's even driving in the edges. Oh, that's right. This is the one that doesn't really have a lot of room for it. I gotta go look up the torque, get this axle nut on there, Customer declined an alignment, which anytime you move suspension stuff, I like to do an alignment. Customer declined the alignment, declined the tires, but when we showed him how bad the wheel bearing was, he said, oh, go ahead and do that. Anywho, let's look that up and come back. Alright, kind of in a conundrum. It says one-time use on the axle nut. I think it's a locking nut, but it was tight when I took it off. It hadn't loosened up. That wasn't our problem. That bearing was just bad, I believe. But 229 foot-pounds, there's no place to put anything to jam the rotor, so I'm going to put the wheel on with the center cap off, put it on the ground, torque that nut, and let them know up front we really should get a new nut for it. See if they want to do that, get all the wheels and everything torqued. Then if we get a nut, we can just replace it real quick. I'll put the center cap in the car somewhere so we remember to pop that on if we're not going to replace the nut. I hope we are, but we'll see. Finishing up a quick oil change on basically brand new Subaru. Nothing exciting going on. We'll see what happens. Maybe something exciting will happen or not. I don't know. 5 quarts of pure AMS oil and an AMS oil filter. And he's changing the oil 3,000 miles early. Look at my shiny new nuts. Go ahead and pop this on here. It'll be good to go. Alright. Finally. I didn't want to make you watch the whole thing. It took a while. I didn't feel like getting my impact gun. Spun it on with the ratchet the whole way. I don't know why they're trying to hide it. It's an undercover Ford Escape. Should be proud to own this one. 197, 323 miles, and a love rating of 5. Looks pretty good in here. It's got an aftermarket alarm. I'm going to try not to let the alarm go off. Pretty clean. 200,000 miles. Woof. Came in here for a wheel alignment. I'm going to find out why they think they need a wheel alignment. I know the right front tire is worn way more than the left front, and that is not going to help your wheel alignment. Yeah. Back tires are borderline, right front's no good, left front's brand new. Let's lift it up and see what the front end looks like. That's what really matters when you want to do a wheel alignment. Got a little bit of an oil leak, nothing too terrible. The left front tire is like literally brand new, but this one not so much. I got all that noted. Got check engine light on, some wipers and stuff I think I've talked about, but the front end's in good shape. Checked it out already. It's good to go. Let's do an alignment. And I sent the inspection, so they'll let them know about this tire. Probably better to have matched tires. You definitely can cause pulls and weird handling that way. But it's not all-wheel drive, so it's not as critical as it would be if it was. Get that alignment machine fired up. Right now it's on work order machine. Takes a second. It's cold out. And then we're going to use this cool device. If you haven't seen my other alignment videos, this will input the car for me. I don't have to enter VINs manually and all that. It's caveman stuff. So easy a caveman can do it. The new caveman related commercials are freaking hysterical, by the way. Alright, let's do this. Stop flapping. Get to work. Oop, you know what? I don't want the alarm to reset. Try not to latch the door all the way. Now we can roll it forward, compensate the heads. Basically the machine figuring out where the heads are as it rolls a quarter turn, third of a turn. And compensates also if you have a slightly bent hub or wheel. It doesn't factor into the alignment adjustments, the suspension adjustments. That's why I always say vibrations are not repaired by alignments. Someone tells you got a vibration because of worn front end. The only time that's possible is if it's like a death wobble, like an induced vibration that a bump starts. Then worn suspension components can certainly cause that. I'm going to hold the brake. I'm going to turn the wheel left till the machine gets all happy. Turn the wheel right. More happiness. And the ultimate happiness right here when you're back to center. As usual, the best happiness is somewhere in the middle. Oh, a little bit of tow and we're letting her go. Nice. I still don't know why she wanted an alignment, but maybe because of that new tire. And we're not charging as much. We got coupons out now. We're not charging as much for the alignment as wherever she got the tire to, or something. I don't know. I know one thing, when we're done, the alignment will be right. And we have done our job at that point. I'm going to start in the back. You always want to do back to front, and you do the toe last. Because camber and caster affect your toe. But the toe won't change the camber or caster. Now we got a 21 on the lock nut. And 18, I believe it is, yeah, on the adjustment nut. So this arm is the toe arm. It's behind the axle, so it's going to pull the toe. I want the toe to go out. I want the arm to go this way to do that. So I want to turn this the other direction. There we go. Nice and easy, the way we like it. There we go. All green up there if you can see it. We'll crush its head. We'll crop it in, and then we'll go to the front. We got the city landscaping people were out here cutting grass out in the median, and a rock shot across the parking lot and took out one of our customers' windows. It's really not funny, but now we're waiting for the police. So I don't know what'll happen. I'm not sure if they're even can be held responsible. It's a hazard of life, I suppose. I don't know. What do you think? Landscaper's cutting the neighbor's lawn across the street and shoots a rock into your window, breaks the window. Is the landscaper responsible? The homeowner that they're cutting the grass for? Or is your insurance just have to handle it? I don't know. One more wheel. Corrected a whole bunch of goodness. Now I'm going to bring them a copy of the printout and make sure they got the inspection report. We'll see if we're going to do any of the other work that is on the little inspection list. You're good to go. I think this sends the report to them now. That's right, our printer stopped working. So now instead of getting another printer, we're using a Wi-Fi. It prints out up in the office up there. That's easy. This here is a 2018 Hyundai Elantra. Overheated on the customer, 96,290. Love rating is 6 miles. Pretty clean car. I like it. It's kept in decent shape. I mean, it's not perfect, but you know, it's 6 years old. Driving at about 15,000 a year, give or take. Let's see. He says it overheated till the engine, the temperature gauge kept going up. The engine shut off. So he let it cool and drove it in. He's waiting. He wants it fixed right away. We'll see how it goes. hook a scanner up and see if the fan works. That's my first idea. Maybe the fan's not working. Wasn't that low on coolant. Someone has to borrow a scan tool this morning, so I immediately thought, well, let me lend him the X tool. But the battery was dead. I don't know what happened to the charger for this one. It's around somewhere, I would hope, but I can't find it. But it does charge when you plug it into the ALDL connector in a car. It'll start charging. So I'm going to use it to get it charged up a little bit. This is a good scan tool. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's my least favorite of all the scan tools I have. So I think I have 6 of them now. This is number 6. Not that it's bad, just that it has a wire on it and no kickstand. My 2 main criteria: kickstand and wireless. Wireless. This thing has no codes. Very surprised at that. I was expecting an ECM code. But what I'm going to do is use the scan tool to run that fan. And if I hear the fan turn on, then I'm going to go back to leak. The customer says he doesn't think there's a leak. He hasn't seen anything on the ground. But I do see wetness around here, which could have just come out of the cap from the pressure when it overheated. So in any event, that's our plan. ECM, diagnostic. Actuation test. Fan motor, high speed. It's running and it's blowing cold air. Stop. I'm gonna go back. Fan motor, low speed. Start. It's running. This thing could just have a bad thermostat. That radiator is ice cold, and cold air is coming off, but you can feel heat in the hose. The engine's warm and the air is cold. That's bad. Could just be an air pocket, but normally vehicle hasn't been worked on or anything. It doesn't just suddenly get an air pocket and overheat. So it's much more likely it's a thermostat. We're gonna have to see what we can do to prove that out. The fact that there's no code, but what's weird too is codes will normally set if the thermostat's stuck open, but not if it's stuck cold. I mean closed, except it might have an overheating code, which it doesn't. Very strange. Let's make sure this is completely full. We'll have to run it a few minutes and watch the temperature on the graph. I'm gonna start this up. You keep an eye. Make sure it doesn't push all the water out of there. And then we'll bring up some temperature data. And look at that. So far, so good. Gotta face the right way. Let's find the graph. Oh, here we go. That's what I want, the bigger one. I'm gonna let this run a few minutes. We're gonna see how the temperature rises when the fan comes on, what the temperature is, and whether it blows warm air or cold air. I think it's gonna have a stuck thermostat. Now we're just gonna prove it. If that fan comes on, it's still cold air, then I know the thermostat's not flowing coolant. There's a small possibility the water pump isn't flowing coolant. But the fact that I started up and the coolant level dropped a little bit and I had to put a little splash in, you saw that? That means the water pump is moving the coolant because it wouldn't have adjusted the volume the level when I started it up, right? So we've eliminated a few things already. We're getting closer. Let's let this run a little while. All right, the other screen I had was water temperature at start. I don't know if you caught that, but there's a data PID for water temperature now and water temperature at start. So it's at 196.7, and the hose feels hot here, but not. It's only a little warm over here, so it's not moving coolant for one reason or another. Let's give it a minute. I'm thinking around 210, 220, that fan will kick on. We'll see how it does. I forget whether the thermostat's over here or here on these, but we'll worry about that more once we figure out for sure now if that's what it needs. 219.6. We gotta be getting close to that fan coming on. Some cars 230, most of them 220, 215, 225. Now it's up to... That's another Infinity been destroyed by a youngster. Well, that, in my opinion, not his. He probably thinks it's awesome. 221 is where we're at now. The hotter it gets, the faster it'll get hot, if that makes sense. It takes a while to build heat, but once it gets to this area, it should probably rise pretty rapidly. If the temperature gets to like 235 and the fan hasn't turned on, then I'm going to focus on something with the fan, except you saw I just ran it with the scanner, so I don't suspect that's what's going to happen. The hose feels pretty good hot. Oh, there's the fan. The air is cold. As soon as it came on, it cooled right down. It was warm for a second and cooled right down. Alright. That is interesting. 227 is when it came on. It's going to keep getting hot because if it's not pulling heat through the radiator, I'm going to make sure there's nothing blocking the radiator, like shutters that are stuck closed. And we're going towards a thermostat. That's interesting. The fan turned off. That's why I felt this get hot maybe. Oh, it's sucking it in now. This thing might have a bad radiator cap. It should not have done that. I don't want to loosen it and get burned. The radiator cap is not working correctly, it looks like. That radiator hose shouldn't have collapsed. When the temperature changed after the fan ran, the fan turned off and the hose collapsed. Very unusual stuff going on right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even really building a lot of pressure. I did see where there was coolant spilled all over here. It didn't take much. I'm gonna lift it up and look around underneath. I'm gonna put a pressure tester on it next. I'm not expecting to find a leak. We'll see.
I am the walrus.
Look around, see if we spot something. It's holding pressure and I'm not seeing a leak.
I forgot I was holding on to the butt.
It's going to need a thermostat and a radiator cap. That's what I'm going with. Fan works, no leaks. It blew cold for just a second and then stopped blowing cold, and then the hose collapsed when the fan turned off. So that means the cap can't pull coolant in from there, although it wasn't very low. It's still any kind of rapid temperature change, this cap it holds down pressure to a certain amount, lets pressure off at a certain amount, and it lets it pull coolant through here at a certain pressure. So if those functions aren't working correctly, the caps can cause all kinds of weird stuff. But I think the primary concern is a thermostat. All right, let's do it. No, the Hyundai Elantra's not going to fix it. He's got a friend who's going to help him out. So pushed it out. Pushed the Mustang in for tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get we need the fuel line for the carburetor. We didn't get this carburetor has a metering plate front and rear because it's a double pumper. So it has a fuel metering block and a fuel metering block. This is a 4150 double pumper. The 4160, there's a metering plate instead of a block here. And the float bowl is that much closer. So all this is not there, except for a little plate. So the fuel line, this fuel line here, the fitting's going to be here. Like 5/8, not 5/8, maybe just a little over ½ inch for closer. So got to get the correct line for the new carburetor. We'll work on it tomorrow. Got the project truck in here, playing with it a little bit. Like I decided that I was tired of my carpeting rolling up, so I put a self-tapping black Phillips head screw to hold the carpet because it keeps rolling down. I gotta do something to tuck some of this up maybe, I don't know. It doesn't bother me that much. You guys saw the little model truck I made out of a Matchbox car or Hot Wheels. Anyway, we're getting ready to close up for today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Short and sweet, we got a couple things done. Well, thanks for watching. Torque the like button before you head out if you will. I appreciate that. And share the video if you know someone might be interested in some automotive content. That really helps the channel a lot when you let people know. You guys are awesome. Hope I see you in the next one.